on the brakes late, which means you're anchoring down, pushing your weight into the ground to apply a little bit more front brake, momentum transfer onto your front wheel. And as you're doing that, twist your bike and try to get 90 degrees. And I can come out of this corner. Too quick. Put it up all the way around and then go. And today we're out to find some switchbacks. I'll go over some nose pick endo corner technique and try to prepare for what is going to be an entirely European World Series. Heading into the lower section of Powerhouse Plunge, which I've ridden on an XC bike in an XC race when I was a kid, more than I've probably ever ridden another time. But that's just a Squamish XC trail. Wow. That's a tight corner, but it's not tight enough. I know there is better. Some real, there they are. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, nailed it. I'm gonna need to do a video. All right, that's it, that's pretty cool. All right, here we are. I was right in my memory thinking that these were some super tight switchbacks, and honestly, they are super similar to just European, like kind of bench cut down this kind of the face here. So there's a few, but we're just gonna focus on one or two just because make the video simple. But yeah, there's definitely different ways that you can kind of come. You can see that the entrance here is super tight, so you can't really do much. And then yeah, there's a lot of space here, but you're not really doing a wide turn around here. So you kind of got to come in, and you can definitely slowly get your way around this corner, and I'll show that. But what I want to show and what I want you guys to kind of work on is the endo technique, which is where you kind of go up on your front wheel and stop you around. And this one's actually a really good one to try on. Definitely recommend trying on flat ground first, just because it's safer and you're not going to go off the edge of a cliff here. But I'm not too worried. That looks soft anyways, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, definitely a technique that I learned as a kid on like skinny skill parks, where you kind of have little kinks in the wood and you have to go put your front wheel and then do like a little back wheel hop. And that's where I started. And then with enduro and actually like having to learn them, you don't race with them honestly, because they're just not always the quickest. I feel like Flo Nicolai is the best one at doing them fast. Otherwise, like honestly, I know people will hate to hear it, but you just come in here as fast as you can, brake as late as you can, skid the back wheel out, and then go, just because you're braking the latest you can. Whereas a stopper, you have to be braking quite a lot to get on your front wheel, so it's just kind of slow. So we'll just get through it. I'll show you that fast way, I'll show you the slow way, and then the stoppy way. So let's do it. Thankfully I don't have to hike too high to do these, but first one coming in nice and quick, foot out, skid it and go. That's not pretty, but in enduro you're not after perfection, and that, if I was in the middle of a race run, I'd be pretty happy with that if I made it around there that well. So yeah, now we'll do a slower one. This one we'll just cruise in, and you should be able to just ride around it as wide as you can, turn in, and then you just have enough space in the edge of that corner. And honestly, that is thanks to the builders on this, because you can see they put this log here and they put all this extra dirt. Otherwise, you would not be able to do that. So maybe on a future corner, I'll have to show why that wouldn't be possible. So you can see, as I got to the crux here, definitely an issue that a lot of people have is when you're tight here and you're turning like this, and you have to get it out of the corner. You're here and you want to turn your bars, and that's where you see people just go a little bit too far, turn the bars, and they're off the front. So that's why if you preemptively get on your front wheel and swing your back wheel around even a little bit, you'll avoid that. So I'll do a small one and then I'll do a big one. Yeah, here's a small little nose pick just to stop that little crux point. So you come in, little one, and then around. So you can see just before I got to the point where I might have tucked my bars, I put a lot of front brake on with my body weight, got up on the bike and twisted it just a tiny bit, and then let off the front brake, because you don't want to do too much front brake. Otherwise, you're just gonna put yourself over the bars and you're gonna do what you're trying not to do. So, and you can see like this corner's not steep, so my bike's not even that steep. So I can go, you know, like this high, which I wouldn't always, but it just goes to show you that you can put a decent amount of front brake on, and you can find a corner that's got a lot of space because you know that your back wheel is not going to hit the edge of the trail there. So you can just come in, and when you're here, instead of just trying to turn around here, which you can see is tight and you might go like that, once you get just about halfway and maybe your tire is pointing down like off the trail, you just do a little bit up just to here, and then you go around. So it allows you to turn that corner without having to turn your front wheel too much. All right, the big noser coming in, again, not too quick, but put it up all the way around and then go. You can see on that last one with the really big nose, manual, pick, endo, whatever you want to call it, the stoppie, I'm quite in control of my braking power and kind of modulating that front nose manual like you would a wheelie. That's because I've had a lot of practice. There's also nothing really that bumpy on the trail here, which definitely helps, because if you're going over rough terrain, you know, it's going to exacerbate the problem of going over the bars or not. You can see I've had a lot of practice. So if you want to practice that, if you're just on a downhill pavement slope, you just do little nose bumps like you would with a manual. If you're practicing a manual, you just do little pull up more, pull up more. You don't want to just go over the bars the first time. You want to kind of a little bit more and a little bit more. So same with the stoppie. Put your front brake on, kind of lurch your weight a little bit forward onto that front wheel, let go of your brake pretty much immediately, just so you can feel what that feels like, and then kind of try to do it a little bit more. And then on a flat ground, do that and turn your bike a little bit. Try not to unclip. You're not really kicking with your feet. You're trying to go up onto your wheel and try to rotate with your whole body, your shoulders, your hips, a little bit at a time, and you'll get the feeling for that. It's something you can practice. You know, watch this video, watch what I do of just going up and kind of kicking your body around. It is definitely beneficial for corners like this. Makes it more fun. It's kind of like a challenge and a different technique to do rather than just kind of like like we all do that, and I do that for sure if it's a really scary corner. But this is kind of a fun way to kind of change up your local trails maybe. So let's go find a tighter corner where you can't just ride around. All right, I did come up to the other corner because there was none below. This one is a little bit tighter. They've still done a really good job of benching it. You can see how much they dug out of here. That was obviously a long time ago because there's moss regrowth. They built it up here with logs and rocks. Just very nice. So let's give this one a shot. So let's pretend I come in here. Not pretend, let's come in here faster. Coming in. So you can see this dirt was soft. And because I was doing that and trying to go fast, and my wheel pushed a tiny bit, it kind of hung up. And I almost actually got my bars crossed up and went out the front. So that's why, you know, I wouldn't try to rail a corner like this. It's too tight to kind of just rail around. So we'll do, I won't show the skidding one because people will get upset. But if I was racing, it's probably what I would do. So we'll go fast, on the brakes late, which means you're anchoring down, pushing your weight into the ground to get that rear wheel traction. And then because you're there, just apply a little bit more front brake and get that momentum transfer onto your front wheel, which helps you nose manual. And as you're doing that, twist your bike a bit. And again, you don't have to like nose manual around the whole corner, even though like you can work up to that and that's really cool. All you have to do is if you come in this inside, I'm gonna come in right here, up a little bit, drive the front wheel here, and basically try to get like maybe 90 degrees. So my back wheel is gonna be here, and then I can come out of this corner easier. So let's give that a shot. All right, so yeah, you can see definitely in that second one, I exaggerated kind of, I tried not to do it as quickly. So you can see I really put my weight down, which helps with braking, helps you not to skid. And then as soon as I knew that I was kind of had enough braking done, I applied more front brake as well at the same time, a momentum shift onto my front wheel and turned it, and it was pretty smooth. Definitely something you have to practice, but it's not that difficult. It's really fun. It kind of makes switchbacks like these super sweet, and it's something that you can kind of practice on your own and get better and better. And yeah, I think it's definitely a pretty good skill to have in your back pocket to kind of bust out on switchbacks like these. And then just in general, it helps you. It's a little bit kind of a trials maneuver. Some of the best riders I know kind of came up from trials, so it's really cool. Anyways, I hope you like that video. It's just kind of a quick one, get me out the door, get started back on this YouTube train. And it was a beautiful day, so can't really complain too much. again, like I said in that last video, comment below if there's anything specific you want me to work on. If it's a feature, I'll kind of do that trail breakdown video around a feature that I know that a trail has. So it'll kind of be fun. It'll be kind of a mix of like the trail breakdown, but I'll be focusing on whatever you want me to focus on. And that gets it easier for me, so I'm not stressing about what you guys want to see. And I know that I'm going out the door and I'm going to get something that you guys are definitely going to click on. I do want to keep this going because it kind of bridges the gap between all the racing footage that I do, which I think is really rad, and I really enjoy putting those up, and I think you guys enjoy those too. So just a little bit of footage to kind of tie everybody over in between the races. So hopefully those happen this summer. Crossing my fingers. Until then, love the ride, and we'll see you on the next one.